All right, hello, everybody. Yo, what's going on? It's your man Marshall Best here with your brother Greg Castillo. Welcome to another Jaguar Jibberish.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on, Jag Nation? How's everybody doing out there?
What's going on, Jag Nation? Yeah, we are coming to you live today. We got to recap a couple of games. The Jaguars played on the weekend. It took place in the George Gervin Classic. Went up against Strength and Motion and also OnPoint Academy. OnPoint Academy is out of Oklahoma. So for the two games, we try to bring those to you via live stream if you hadn't had a chance to check them out. One of them is on IG Live. We had some trouble with the stream. At least that's mainly the second half of it. And the other one is on stream or on YouTube. I would say stream. So to kind of give you a recap of the games, Strength and Motion game. Your Jaguars lost 79-73 in what was a pretty tight contest down the stretch. Jaguars had a chance to win the game. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get the necessary stops and kind of played sloppy down the stretch, led by Jaden Campos with 29, or excuse me, not Jaden, Mario Bailey with 29 points. And then Jaden Campos added in 21. And so for the rest of the team, they got a bit of a struggle shooting-wise for Nick Van. He ended with 12, 13. So nobody else really stepped up and answered the call.
There was a lot of fouls, too. It seemed like there was a lot of fouls going against the Jags.
I would say the refs were not good that game. I will say that.
We could say that because we're not going to get fined.
Yeah, they're not going to get fined. Yeah, there's a lot of really terrible calls. So,
Jaguars. What really shocked me from the opponent was that they basically had like the Twin Towers. They basically had Chet and Mobley, but they never utilized them against us. And I was like, I would have just run a high-low. I would have run action between them two, and I think they would have just destroyed us. But they always never really played together and never really ran any offense to them. It was always a lot of like the guard heavy play, and I was like, all right, whatever. That's more better for us.
Yeah, definitely a guard heavy play. They had one particular guard, number 23, that was kind of getting to his spots, going off. Rebounding was, a problem in this game too.
It's a common theme throughout the season with this team. Is going to be the rebounding. Only having Jaden Campos out there with a lot of size.
Man. Him and Mario Bailey tend to get,
with that Mario athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to get on the boards.
Yep. So, and that was the first game. In the second game, Jaguars took on OnPoint Academy, and they played much, much better. We were actually able to give that to you live.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have some stats from that game. Get that up.
Yeah, I felt like the Jags played excellent basketball. Running a lot of players are moving, ball was moving. It was inside out. Everybody was doing their thing. I think shots were dropping.
Right.
I thought probably what I've seen out of the season, I've only seen like probably 3 or 4 games at this point. I thought that was probably the best game I've seen execution-wise from the Jags.
Absolutely, it was. For your Jaguars, leading scoring was Jaden Campos. He had 26 points. He had 19 from Amari Bailey. Paragon Hawkins, refreshing, had a 15-point game. He's been struggling a lot this season, so it was good to see him, perform well. And then Nick Van also had 10. So you had 4 guys that scored, double figures. And, consistently, this is what you want out of those 4 guys, because those are probably your best players and your most consistent, scoring players.
And I thought the big difference between these 2 games was in the prior game, a lot of it was perimeter based. They were trying to swing it around, use isolation to break down the defenders. There wasn't a lot of inside out play. And I felt like in this next game, they really utilized, which Jaden Campos is a very important piece to this offense, because his versatility from a big being able to play. Like I would run a lot of pinch post action, a lot of things. You could dribble a handoff. You can let him, kind of dictate. Okay, pass to the corner, pass to this guy's open. Oh, this guy's going to cut off me. I'm going to drop it off to him. I think you can run a lot of offense through that way, and you can even bring him out to the 3-point line. And then at that point, you can attack whatever matchup you want to, whoever has the ball. So I thought his versatility on the offensive end is very important to this team, and utilizing him like that, and then everybody else can eat.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. And then getting Perebron, I would use him. I would do dribble handoffs with him, let him come off curls and right into the lane, let him get drives, get easy shots, so that way he can get going and really get into a rhythm. Because sometimes he feel like he's, I can see him trying to be the leader, trying to get everybody in order, trying to do the point guard thing, and we need him to get more going offensively. So I would try to manufacture easy buckets for him. Also, try to get him a switch in the post. I think his strength and size as a guard would be very valuable on smaller people. So I would do different things with him for sure too.
Yeah. No, he's once he's able to do that and kind of take over in a certain sense, that adds a more dynamic, threat to this offense. Because when he doesn't score, when he scores under 10 points, they have a hard time winning games. And that's been the case, Olu, the past 2-3 games that they played Olu, he hasn't had good games. He scored probably combined 10 points over the past 3 Olu games. And then with the strength and motion, he only had 2 or 3 points himself there. And they've lost all of those games. When he was cooking earlier in the season, when we were going up against teams out of A&M and Rice and what was the other one? A&M, Rice, LSU. He was contributing points. He had at least 10 points in each one of those games, and it really shows. It takes the pressure off of, Bailey, who's hustling. He's going to give you 20 a night.
That's another guy I want to get easy opportunities for. I think him, obviously, you play 5 out, you let him be at the top of the key, and I think he's able to break down his man and get in the paint, and then it would be up to him to make either the right decision, either pass it to his teammates that are open or make the basket. And then the same thing, I want him being able to go downhill off of screens, off of something, going straight to the basket, because I trust him with his athleticism and his ability to finish at the rim easily.
All right. And so you have that with him. You have Jaden, he's knocking down outside shots when he's off, though. Sometimes it's hard for them to get their offense going because they'll take quick shots. It'll be a quick shot by him. It'll be a quick shot by Amarie. Nick Van might, try to shoot a quick shot. And then if you have Salivar Jr., or Bryson Barnett, you're going to need those guys to step up as well.
But, we've seen it it happens on the court, whether, we both play basketball. You see it when you pass your teammates and they keep missing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, I'm not going to make the right pass. I'm not going to pass it to you again. I lost trust in that teammate. I'm going to go to isolation ball. I'm going to try to make something happen, and then a turnover happens or something bad. Sometimes, obviously some things are times good things happen, right?
Right.
But a lot of times you get, you go to isolation ball, especially on this team, you're getting the turnover is going to happen. It's going to snowball into a bad effect. So people trusting your teammates, regardless if you feel like they're going to make it or not, is a very important skill. It's very hard to do. It's can get very frustrating if someone keeps missing this wide open shots. But you're understanding that that's my teammate. I believe in it. I'm going to make the right play.
All right. That's my teammate.
Yeah.
That's my best friend.
That's how you're gonna. That's how this team is gonna win.
Yeah,
is by multiple people doing their job and doing it correctly and winning. It's gonna take a lot more than just 2 people or 1 person to do it.
Absolutely. Now, on the flip side of this game, for OnPoint Academy, they really had one guy that was destroying, and that was number 13. He was the biggest guy on the court. He had 29 points. He was in foul trouble, but even with that, he still dominated the boards. And early on, I was like, "Uh-oh, this might be bad for the Jaguars. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this out because he's him and I think it was number 25 for them who had 17. They were collecting boards like it was nobody's business."
Yeah. And that's something this team is going to have to do is team rebound.
Yeah.
It's going to have to pull together. You have Jaden Campos. He's one guy, and he's not even like the size of these guys that he's going against. So he's got to do as best as he can. He can play better, of course, and I expect he will. But we're going to have to jump on those boards together and use those energy and not be, like, oh, okay, my teammate's going to get it or whatever. Everybody has to attack the boards because that's going to be a big factor in the season. And whether you win it all or not.
Right. So between that and they really didn't have any 3-point shooters. However, number 11 hit a crucial 3-point shot for them down the stretch. And we had kind of just talked about it, Greg and I, and we're like, okay, the Jaguars at that point were up by 8 or 6 coming out of a timeout. And we said, okay, right now, 3 minutes left. Let's make sure that we lock down those shooters. And guy got wide open, hit a 3, and it started getting tight in those last, couple of minutes of the game.
Yeah. Which is good now during the season because you want this team to learn. You want this team to learn how to act within closing games, so that way down the line they're not rattled or scared down the line. Like, oh, we've been here before. We know what to do. Settle down.
Right. A couple of guys that didn't get an opportunity to play too much in the early going, coach subbed them in, and they just didn't look ready for the moment. They have to be ready to contribute at all times and get in the rhythm. Now, it could, they could coach put them in earlier on. You could say that it might be interesting coaching decision, but overall, you just got to stay ready, no matter what. You got to stay ready. So, having said that, Jaguars, for those of you who didn't watch the game, were up by about 14, 16 points with about 4 minutes left, and it got tight. Could have ended up being a tie game had, I think it was number 25 missed a wide open dunk instead of just laying the ball up. And then that gave the Jaguars an opportunity to go down. Bailey hit a tough jumper to put him up by 4, and then Paramount Hawkins took that charge at the end of the game. Kind of reminiscent a little bit to last year in a game that they won. For those who don't remember, Jeffrey Williams hit a game or go-ahead jumper, and then Paramount Hawkins took a charge, and the Jaguars ran out that game. So
definitely. What a sequence, man! What an amazing sequence. 2 plays from 2 of our leaders, 2 of our best players. It was an amazing, situation. It was just it was great to see.
Yep. It ended up being 82-78 was the final for this one. Free throw shooting was much better too.
Yeah.
The little things. As against Olu, they missed about 11 free throws and lost by damn near 11. Yeah. And that's kind of what was the tail of that game. And then against Strength and Motion, they missed about 4 or 5 free throws in that one, ended up losing by 6. So
yeah. And that will be free throw shooting. I think we talked about rebounding will be common themes throughout the season. How do they handle pressure? That's still a big question mark because I think that's one of the things that will get them rattled is how they handle pressure. It'll be up to their, people that handle the ball the most to take care of it and do it correctly. And another big problem is on pick and roll switches where Jaden Campos has to switch onto the guard. Teams are getting that switch where they're getting the big man on our smaller guard. and they're getting that they're getting that pick, they're getting that switch every time. And a smart team down the line that we play later down in the playoffs and stuff like that, once they see a coach sees that, or a smart point guard sees that, they're going to keep attacking that. So covering those situations and helping the helper will be big important keys throughout the season.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break, so we'll be right back. Check out this commercial. And we are back, y'all. We got commercials now, dog.
Yeah, I was like, this is Step Up 3D on Moose. And my Moose and Step Up 3D, I was about to get down. I was like, oh, here we go.
All right.
Here for little
So moving forward with the season, we are going to, or the team is going to be playing in the TSAC League, formerly known as the TCCSL League. I didn't go backwards at the end. The TCCSL. That's all the Alamo colleges. So we're talking St. Phillips, Palo Alto, Northwest Vista, SAC, Northeast Lakeview, all those, and a couple other schools in that league as well. So they'll start those games with SAC on the 23rd of February of this month, and that'll be their first home game. But jump before that, they have another one against Our Lady of the Lake on Tuesday, the 22nd. Tip-off for that one is 8 p.m. And then the SAC game is February the 23rd at 8 p.m. as well. We'll be live streaming both games. I have some really big plans for that season opener. So we'll definitely hope y'all be able to join us for that one. Moving forward, I know the guys have a break this week. They're going to definitely make some corrections on their offense. In the upcoming game for the Lady of the Lake, they like to press. That is one thing that the Jaguars have not been able to handle well.
And got us twice already.
Yeah, they got us twice already. Was that full court press? Strength and Motion tried to implement somewhat of a kind of a half court press, and the Jaguars were able to get out of it, which was good. It was good practice, but they definitely need to make sure they, shore up that full court, press breaker. They got to make that press breaker.
Yeah, definitely need to, get familiar with that, because if I'm a team scouting this team, I'm definitely throwing full court pressure at you. I'm throwing half court traps. I don't trust your ability to handle the pressure and be able to make the right decisions out of that if I'm a coach on the other side. So definitely something they need to be familiar with. They get comfortable being under pressure, and they've got to be comfortable in those situations.
Yep, that's right. So we're excited. Like I said, we'll kind of give you guys an update on the schedule, which hopefully we'll have here for you guys as a visual. But we have, as I mentioned, Our Lady of the Lake.
Shout out to Drake Reed of the building.
What's going on? So
thank
we
you for
have
being here.
Say it again.
So thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for being here. So we have Our Lady of the Lake, 22nd. We have SAC on the 23rd. Then we have Palo Alto on the 2nd of March, and those two will be the home games. Then we have the regional tournament in Arlington. We'll be there for that one as well. We'll bring that one to you. Then we have Northeast Lakeview. That'll be at Northeast Lakeview on the 9th. On the 23rd, St. Philip's at St. Philip's. Then we have that's Trinity on the 30th of March. Then going into April, we have Incarnate Word on the 6th of April. Then it should be National in Wichita, Kansas, which will be fun. That'll be from the 8th to the 10th of April. And then right back at it on the 13th against Northwest or Northeast. Wait, Northwest Vista.
Yeah,
I forget. Northwest,
we went
Northeast.
there.
Northwest
That's where we
Vista.
get from. Come on.
Where are we going? And then after that, we should have playoffs for that TSAC league. So essentially, you have a good 7, about a good, I'd say 10 to 16 games left for the Jaguars, depending on how they do in regionals, nationals, and playoffs.
Okay, I think we have a good barometer and sample size to see how the team progresses as the season goes on, how things change, and how things hopefully as they grow as a team together, the chemistry, the execution, all those things, and then hopefully by the end of the season, we see the best finished product, and they'll be able to compete for, to win it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know the team is going to be about 8. They're going to keep about 8 people on this squad. So they don't have as much depth as I know that they would like. Hopefully, those guys can make a return. Some of those guys that are missing can make a return next season. But for the 8 that are here, some guys, I want to say there may be a couple of guys in Mario Bailey and Parabon Hawkins that, Parabon's graduating. This is his last year. This is the last hurrah. So he wants to go out on top. And then Mario Bailey may not be coming back as he has talked about possibly transferring. So we'll see what's going on there. But for the most part, they got to go out, handle their business, and let's go out, win regionals, get a free ticket out to nationals, and from there we're gonna roll it on.
Yep, that's all it is, man. Always just trying to get better as a team, trying to get better as a player, trying to get better as a whole team, and reach our goal, which is everybody's goal is to win it all.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So before we leave, if y'all love, on the side note, if y'all love NBA basketball, Spurs basketball, y'all go check out Twitter and Instagram Spurs versus everybody. We'll be breaking down, talking about the San Antonio Spurs, Greg and myself. Got some big news from going on from there with DeJounte Murray ascending,
top becoming 5 point guard in the league right now.
Yeah,
top 5 point guard in the league.
Really playing well. I don't know if a lot of people saw this coming, but
nope.
I did.
I saw possibly top 10 because of his impact offensive and defensively and all the things he does. Top 10 point guard. Didn't see top 5. I didn't see, I thought of him as reaching Kyrie Irving's secondary playmaker, and that it's going to work off like a LeBron, a Harden or something. I didn't know that DeJounte was going to be the Harden, the LeBron, the engine of the Luka, the Trey Young, the engine of an offense. And that's what he's shown this year, that he's been able to, that he is that guy, that he is that engine of the offense. And it's just about putting the right pieces around him.
Yep, he's improved, definitely improved. Glad to see that. And then also, if you like all sports, you can check us out on Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. Twitter, IG is SVO Sports Talk. YouTube, Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. We'll be breaking down the Super Bowl, which was a good game. And then we have some NBA All-Star coming up this weekend, All-Star game and festivities and everything like that. So that should be fun. So y'all go check that out too. And as always, make sure if you don't, and if you haven't, go follow us on Instagram, TAMUSA MCB Ball, and stay up to date with everything going on with this team, man. They're really doing some great things. We're enjoying being along for the ride. We're enjoying being a part of, the team.
Building a foundation, building this thing down from the ground up. And hopefully, we just keep building and building and building. By the time we look around, we have a whole house. So,
yeah. So that's going to do it for this one. I'm Marshall Best. And that's Greg Castillo. And we will catch y'all next time. Have a great day, Jag fam.